Hey! Show me, how many managers do I have in the room? Awesome, lots and lots. Tell me this, I will bet that before you became a manager, you were a rock star employee, weren't you?
Yes.
Right. You were a high performer. You were ultra reliable. You were a real top gun. And then one day someone came along and tapped you on the shoulder and said, congratulations, you're going to be a manager. I know you can do it, but now your job is to get them to do it. So managers in the room, how easy is it to get other people to do what you need them to do? Right, that's a challenge sometimes, right? It's a challenge for all of us. You see, this challenge of getting results through other people is the #1 frustration for so many young managers. And research is showing us it is wiping out 1/3 of our potential and emerging management talent. It's causing half of us, or half of our young managers, to perform way below their expected levels. One thing we notice as new managers, when we go into our new teams, there'll be several people there that are not like us. We're committed, we're achievers. We've got people who are not so committed. They're not so excited about coming to work and doing their best job every day, but we still need to get results through them. And you know what? They're making us look bad. Pressure starts to come down from upper management. People are concerned about our performance. Things are getting stressful, right? We're a high performer. We are used to the recognition, the respect that comes from being excellent at what we do, and now we're being performance managed. How embarrassing, right? The stress is real, the pressure is on. So if you relate to that, you're not alone. As a consultant and trainer working with lots of big companies, I saw this happen day after day. You know what? I worked with these young people, building their skills, leading them toward management, and one after one I'd see them churned and burned through a system that didn't invest in their development skills. Let's change that now, because it doesn't need to be that way. All we need is a new set of skills. So let's have a look at what those skills might be. What I'm going to share with you is the management model, 5 steps to getting the best result through your team. Starting with vision. You've got to share your exciting, spine-tingling vision with your people. People want to be part of something special, and they'll stretch for you. They'll come along for the ride if you include them in the excitement of the journey. So share your ideas about what it's going to look like when it's done and how great it's going to be when you achieve your goals. Number 2 is about contracting. Employee performance is set in the first 48 to 72 hours, and then that window closes. During that time, your new employee is making up their mind about what's it going to be like to work here, what's going to be expected of me. You need to have input into that. So within that time, you need to have clear conversations around what is going to be expected of them personally and of them in their role, and get agreement, a deal is made, and a psychological contract is formed. You've got to manage behaviour. What happens when you bring a group of very different people together from wildly different backgrounds with all different ideas about how things should be done, and you put them together in a workplace day after day? What happens? Conflict. If you want to avoid conflict and get smooth sailing, what we need to do is set some boundaries and create a shared identity and shared agreements about how we're going to work together here. This is done well as a team meeting where everyone has input into what they expect of each other as a team. Write it up, choose your top 10 commitments, everybody signs, frame it, pop it on that wall, and now you have your team code. Number 4, continual coaching. Who's ever, in a burst of enthusiasm, gone out and bought a beautiful new plant, a new pot, brought it home, potted it, watered it, fertilised it, stood back, really proud? And then you got busy for about 6 months, right? And one day you looked out and you saw your beautiful pot, but what was in it? A stick, right? Staff are a little bit the same. How many times have we employed a new staff member and we were so excited in the interview? We thought they were going to be fantastic. And then we got busy for about 6 months and left them to it. And then we started to notice months and years later that their performance was just sliding. Was it their fault? We didn't water them. our time and attention in coaching and growing and mentoring and training our young people is the fertilizer to their growth. This is so essential to getting them to where they need to be. Number 5 is keep it clean. This is about relationships, because relationships fuel results. I want you to imagine that this glass represents a relationship that you've got with a brand new team member. It's day 1, you're all excited about working together, your glass is nice and clean, but over time, stuff happens. They turn up late a few times, you know, they may be cutting a few corners, you're getting annoyed, right? That glass is getting a little bit muddy, okay? Time goes on. They're getting a little bit sarcastic at work. They're not turning up to team meetings anymore. You're really getting annoyed now. This is getting really muddy. Your behaviour is showing it. They're picking it up. They're reflecting that back to you with attitude. How is that relationship now? Is that relationship going to produce results for you? Absolutely not. So clean it up. Have conversations that continually clean your glass and resolve frustration and conflict. So they're my 5 points to getting the best results through your team. I'd like to tell you this, if you've resonated with anything we've said today, if you felt you were that high performer, but maybe you hit that wall in leadership, I'd like to say you are still that high performer underneath. All you need to be that inspirational leader is a new set of skills. Thank you.